Hi Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope for January 2024. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to have a look at where the planets support you in January, where they don't, and how you can adapt things so that you're making the most of the good things. Please watch the horoscopes in this order: sun sign first, then rising sign, then moon sign. On the 1st of January, straight away, we have something really positive happening. We have Mercury, the communication planet, that goes direct, and it moves out of its retrograde. So if you've had communication or transportation issues, those start to really ease off, and it's far less likely that you discover there are misunderstandings in your life or that you've got the wrong end of the stick. It also happens in your 6th house. So if you found that, I don't know what I'm going to do about my daily routine, I know I want to change something, I know this isn't really firing me up, but I don't know exactly what I should do about it, then as soon as we get to the 1st of January here, you become incredibly practical, and you also notice how you can use certain relationships that exist in a formal way in your life. So your relationship with your boss and your colleagues and people who are acquaintances, people who exist more in the public, in the outside of your life, rather than in your very nearest and dearest inner circle. You become very good at seeing where the value is and how you can connect with a particular person in order to get what it is you want. So you're very much watching the bottom line here, and you're saying, okay, if I want to achieve point A, then I'm going to speak to Sally. Or if I want to make progress in this area, then I know exactly who to call. So you're very smart about working with the right people at the right time in order to achieve practical things that you want. And that gets even stronger when Mars on the 5th of January exits Sagittarius and it goes into Capricorn in your 7th house. So you're really someone who's able to motivate other people. You're able to, what's the cliche, work smarter, not harder. And the key thing is you're almost like an HR manager. You're able to look at what someone can kind of bring to the situation in a formal way. And you're at no risk of kind of overloading yourself and saying, I have to do everything on my own. You're able to delegate very easily. That continues and becomes even stronger on the 11th of January when we have a new moon in Capricorn happening in your 7th house. So this is interesting because you're also able to plant seeds for these are the relationships I've got in my life, and these are the ones I want to make more solid and formal because this benefits both of us. And that extends to, I've been with this partner, I now know that this is the person I want to be with, so why not move in together or get engaged? Or this is someone I've been working with, why not kind of talk to that person and say, hey, we work really nicely together, I've got an idea, you have seemed to be interested in that, why don't we do something together? So you're really able to identify the value in all of your relationships and how that could serve both of you or everyone involved moving forward. So you're very business oriented, and you're an expert in your relationships, and the combination of the two really put you in an outstanding place. Mercury ingresses into Capricorn as well on the 14th. So any kind of opportunity that's out there, you'll be able to find it. So you're like a super detective when it comes to finding the right people who can open the right door for you. On the 21st, we've got Pluto, the planet of transformation and change. That goes into Aquarius. That's a big deal. It's been in Capricorn since 2008, and now it goes into Aquarius pretty much until 2044. If you'd like more information on that, please check out the video I did for Cancer for 2024. So just type in Cancer 2024 and watch that yearly horoscope. I go into a lot of detail. It's significant because it's the start of a whole new era. And for you guys, Cancer, it moves out of your 7th and into your 8th. And what you'll notice is that you start to have these amazing ideas that can transform your existing relationships as they are formally. So where you work, how you work, who you work for. And if you notice that you've given your power away, on the 21st of January as well, the sun goes into Aquarius and it joins Pluto in there. So it's like, how have I kind of just gone through the motions here? Where have I overlooked my own ideas and how they serve this business, this formal setting? And how can I change that so that I'm reclaiming my power and I'm working on my ideas and I'm establishing those in a formal work setting that's going to benefit a greater number of people. So all this like ability to find the right person to help you to get to where you want to go it becomes even stronger, but it's translated into the area of what can I leave behind? What can I build now that's going to serve the public when I'm no longer over here, when I'm no longer around? How can I build something now that's going to exist and do good things long after I've stopped focusing on it? So that's pretty amazing. And on the 23rd, Venus also exits Sagittarius. It goes into Capricorn in your 7th. So the big support is, again, how can I motivate people? How can I work with people to achieve a shared goal? But it can also be more literal. And how can I really get clear on, or I naturally feel clear on, what I love, where there's good communication, where I'm on the same page with another person. And again, if you felt vague or undecided about certain relationships in your life, you're able to say, this is something I want more of because it works for me and it works for them. And also, where can I get clear on how this doesn't work? So there may have been conflict. Is that because of what I've been doing? Or is it just that we're a bad fit? Or maybe we've got different kind of goals. And should I continue to give all my energy away to this? So you become very decisive as it relates to other people in your life and whether things are good for you or not. And sometimes, that can come across as somewhat cold or clinical in your approach. But in this case, it's really useful because you're able to make tough decisions around things that don't actually serve you. Most of the focus here is on the 7th and 8th houses, also the 11th house. So all of this formal ability to really pool your resources is something that will allow you to achieve your hopes and dreams, but really in a very, very practical way. So do I want to get married? Do I want to have a home and buy a home? Do I want to create a charity that really benefits people long after I'm no longer here? What you're not worried about is the money. Do I have enough money to do all of this? You kind of look beyond that and you kind of go, well, if I meet the right people, that is a much better resource that's going to help me in accomplishing all of these things. The money is circumstantial. So with that said, great, that doesn't prevent you from making big plans, but do keep an eye on your finances and don't assume that that's just irrelevant. It doesn't mean that there's any kind of issue with your finances, but it just means that your focus isn't on that. And it's a good thing in the sense that this isn't going to stop me. If I don't have the money in the account right now, it doesn't mean I can't, it does not mean that I can't move ahead with this idea, which is going to be structured and successful. Yeah, so it's a positive thing. The only downside I would say is if you find yourself being somewhat lackadaisical when it comes to money and you're like, oh, I'll spend this because who cares? That's something to watch out for. But I think that's unlikely to happen. That's just the worst case scenario. On the 25th, we have a full moon in Leo. And that really indicates that if there is anything around being excessive, it could happen around this time of the month. So just keep an eye on that. And then on the 27th, Uranus, the planet of the miraculous and unexpected, that moves direct in your 11th. So you may even start to see some or receive some good news around these really big formal things that you've planned. And you may get a result already. So things are happening very, very quickly. So make sure that you pool your resources. And I was thinking, it doesn't matter if you know everything. What matters is if you know how to access the information. So who cares if you know about flowers, as long as you know that you can go on Google and type in, rhododendron or something and get the information. That's far more useful as far as I'm concerned. And that's where you really shine in the area of institutions and relationships, that you're able to access all the right information and shape it so that you are realizing your hopes and dreams with the help of others. So that's what I get for you here in January. I hope it gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. To draw up your birth chart, I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then order a chart rectification with me, please. That's a process where I work out your time of birth, and then I can analyze your chart, see what's coming up in future, strengths, weaknesses, all of that. If you'd like to speak to me, just get in touch via the website. Check out some of my other videos. Have a great January, and I'll speak to you soon.